Okay, so it's been some time now. Currently, I'm at TAFE doing a course and had a bit of a problem recently. This is my old belt. Now, bought this thing from Rivers in Hobart, and I think it's lasted me maybe just over a year before, well, it fell apart. I mean, it had these like studs in it to keep it okay, but they sort of just fell out because they hadn't been like even pressed in properly. It's like nuts. Now, I don't particularly know what kind of material this was made out of, but for a while it was good until like this happened. So I decided I'm going to upgrade. Yeah. I bought this thing first off, which turned out to be too long. Freaked out, punched some holes in it. These are about the right size. Freaked out even more and did the stupid thing, and whoops. I got this one. Oh, this is a different belt. So, this actually I might be able to use later on, but I bought this thing, which is the same price as that other one I had up. It's got the same sort of mechanism here, but I don't know what Rivers have done or who designed this, but this belt is flexible. So as you can see, it flexes. Now I put these studs in here myself to try to help sort of like keep it for a while longer, but this material is just too flexible. Now I was wearing this belt today and it didn't last. My pants felt like they were going to fall off. So you'd get this to the right sort of tightness to keep your pants up. But unfortunately, because this is flexible and easily moves, pants almost fell down a couple of times and that just pissed me off. Now, there's a difference between this buckle and this buckle. So this buckle's got 4 screws, this one's only got 2. Okay. So what does it look like on the inside? And this is something I was curious about. So I took it apart. And discovered that there wasn't really much holding the belt in place. For some reason that's not coming out. Oh, and I have just... Ooh, that is not healthy. Alright, so that's another thing I don't like about this. So really, this belt is only held in by not very much material. So that doesn't help. Now, I do actually like this mechanism, except for one thing. It's spring-loaded, so it stretches out. I mean, who in their right mind decided this was a good idea? I can't understand it. They're flogging these things off for like 30, what is it? $34.99 if you're in Australia, which is where I am. So this is basically a $40 belt. And if I hadn't put these studs in, I would have taken this thing back, but I'm sorry, this is terrible. I tried to wear this thing because this thing is the right size for me, and it was just terrible. Whatever this material, what is it? Polyurethane. This is terrible. Who at Rivers in their right mind decided that this was a good idea, a flexible belt? This is terrible. I can't even explain to you or even begin to explain about how uncomfortable it was wearing this thing. I mean, to take it off, because I'd put these studs in, yes, it was a little bit of an extra step. However, I'm pretty damn sure that this being in here, I mean, look at that. So that's just with one pull, I managed to deform it quite easily. And you imagine what's going to happen after a couple of... Here, look. That belt should be able to sustain a lot more pressure. That is not good. I mean, that's going to get a lot... Well, for someone like myself who sometimes has to have these things up tight, no, not too tight, but you imagine constantly pulling it out, it's going to eventually break it. Hence the reason why you put the studs in. Now, it's not exactly 100% the right size, but it does give it something more to grasp on. I mean, even look at that, it's starting to pull. And these honestly, how far do these go down? Oh no, they touch the bottom. But the amount of material that's left in here for this to bite on is like nothing. I mean, you can even see on this one here, when I was pulling at it, it's got a bit of a, I honestly just can't understand why. And I can't for the life of me understand why someone would put this spring loaded. I mean, this is terrible. What? I mean, look, you could accidentally turn the belt around. Why? Just... So I go out of my way, go back to a place I've purchased things from before, thinking, oh yeah, you know, it'll be alright, it'll be okay. And bloody this happens. For starters, if I was to do this differently, I'm looking at this and I'm thinking, this is an interesting method of assembly. You know, 2 screws, not enough, but I would use 4 like on the larger one. I would definitely have this longer. So let's grab a ruler. I work in centimetres because I'm Australian, so whatever. That's a centimetre. I would probably want to give that, at the bare minimum, an extra ½ centimetre. 2 if I wanted to be really generous. That way, get enough bite on this, because you imagine what's going to happen if someone has this belt on, it's got a little too much pressure on there, or it finally gives way, it's just going to pop off. And that is just not a good idea. That is a really bad idea. I mean, so yeah, go out of your way thinking, oh yeah, you know, I bought from there before, you know, about 12-ish months, and, you know, maybe 8 months this would have been comfortable to wear for, you know, it would have been good. But no, instead, they're selling this stupid shit for the same price as this sort of thing. Now, whoops. This belt is, I'd say it's a similar sort of material to the old one I had. This would have hopefully lasted longer. This thing's got definitely more bite. So what's this one? What do I got this one for? Oh, there you go. Extra ½ centimetre. Whoop. No, this one's almost 2 centimetres. And yet they're selling them for the same price. I probably should have just gone with wearing this thing. But this is... Oh, and they definitely should have used larger screws, that's for damn sure. I mean, what the hell? That is too tiny. Oh, it even bloody just fell out. Ugh. You think nowadays companies might have a bit more interest in creating products that are going to at least, you know, not fall apart days after, or you know, seriously, why have a flexible belt? I mean, I can understand someone with a pair of pants that's got elastic in there. You know, that's a different story. It's meant to hold onto your sides. That's what the elastic's for. This didn't do that. I mean, I've worn elastic pants before, and they generally stay on. They do not, you know, move around a lot and feel like they're going to fall off because they stay attached to your body. This thing flexes like nothing. So when you're moving around a fair bit, especially if you're out walking or you're working, this isn't a good belt, and yet that's what they sell. Anyway, I am just angry. And with that, I'm just going to say yibbity yibbita. And hopefully I can do better videos later.